Hey guys, I know it's been a while. I'm just doing a quick video here on how to rebuild a Suzuki RM80 front fork. I've already done one fork right here. You can see it. Fresh wiper and everything. But I'm just going to show you how to do the other one. I haven't done this one yet. So, yeah. First step is to take a 12mm wrench. And in my case, I'd use a rubber mallet. You might need to as well. But just, loosen them up. I just went ahead and fully took them out. And you'll have to loosen these down here too. And I think that'll be all you need to do to get the shock free. And then you'll just need to push it down through here, and you'll be able to take it out at the bottom. This side has a brake line going to it, so I'll probably unbolt the brake caliper. So I got all these bolts out of here. I actually had to use an impact wrench. So same for the brakes down here; those were pretty stuck. So now I'm just going to take this rubber mallet and beat that out of there, and I'll get back to you once I got the shock out. So we have the shock out of the bike. It's missing all the shocks now. And the first thing you're going to do is drain the shock oil. Take a hex wrench, you put it in that bolt, then get yourself something to drain it into, and just compress it down. So as you'll find, it'll take a lot of force to break these through. I actually had to put it in some clamps up here, but once you get this out, just be careful not to dump any oil over on stuff you don't want to get all oily, so we'll use that right there. But yeah, you want to make sure you don't lose the little washer, the little copper washer in here that seals it up. So I'm just going to let mine sit here and drain for a little bit, but I can take the rest of it apart while I'm waiting. So the next thing you're going to want to do is you're probably going to have to use an impact on this, but you'll turn it, you'll turn that this way. Just a little bolt right here, and you'll take the spring out. So I'll get that on video. Get the top off, it'll kind of all just fall down. There's a spring right here, and then here's the shock. That's how that works. You see how here there's fluid in there. I'm just gonna go ahead and take this out of here, and there's a spring. So that's gonna be dripping around for a little bit. I'll take a towel and clean this up real quick and set it up here. The thing you're going to want to do is tilt this whole thing upside down, and a little shaft of a spring will fall out. It's actually a pretty good size. It's about the same size as this whole thing right here. But just make sure you don't lose it whenever you tilt it upside down. I would just recommend holding your hand over here. So here's the shaft right here. The spring unfortunately did not come out with it. It's still on the bottom. We'll just leave it alone for right now. It'll be on the bottom of this compartment right here. It'll come out eventually whenever we take the rest of this apart. But now what you're going to want to do is take this wiper off. So let me grab a pry tool. Alright, so basically what you're going to want to do is just kind of, you can take a flathead screwdriver or anything, just pry that up off there. I'm going to get this fork wiped down enough that I can put it up on the workbench and I can show you guys on camera. So all you're going to want to do, just stick this under here and just kind of pry it until it comes loose. So let me get this off a little bit more and I'll show you guys on camera. It's already starting to come off, you can see that. Alright, so I got it free. This is called the wiper seal. And it kind of just slides right off. Just toss it somewhere else so you don't get it mixed up. The next step of the process is going to be removing the little retainer clip that holds the seal in place. It's going to be kind of hard to see on camera, especially with how dirty the shock was. But there's a little clip, you'll see an edge sticking out here. There's one right there as well. Basically, it's a little metal like spring slash clip. I'll show you when I get it out. You can see that. You'll take a screwdriver and you'll pry it out just under a little lip, and then you'll just slide it off the end of the shaft. Alright, so I got the clip out of here. You just slide it off and just set it somewhere you won't lose it, unless you have another one. And the next step is we'll be hammering this out of here. So basically, you're just gonna want to grab the shock. You're gonna just right here and hold on that piece too, and just go back and forth until you get the seal out. I'll flip my camera around so you guys can see that. So all you guys are gonna want to do is just basically go back and forth really hard. So just like that. There it goes, and you'll get it out of there, as you can see. So you guys can go ahead and just slide off the old seal. It'll just slide right off. Also, you want to go ahead and take off the brass washer and the and just that big washer on the top as well. You can leave that bottom thing in the groove down there. This little groove that goes into the very bottom of the shock. It's a non-threaded end. So you may notice the spacer will fall out. It just goes in the bottom of here. It'll go in like that. You just drop it back in. Well, going like that right there. And then you just kind of put it at the bottom, and you'll see it in there. Oh, it fell sideways. Well, it's supposed to go like that. Let me get that off camera. So, cleanliness is key when you're rebuilding a shock, because if you have any dirt inside your shock, it'll eat up the new seals, which would be a waste of time in installing new seals. So what I usually do is just take a shop rag, put it inside the shock, and then use, maybe a big metal rod to push the rag all the way back. Here's a hole in the back. You can shove it back through. Already did that to this one. I'll wipe down the outside as well. Just make everything look nice. Like that rebuilt shock over there. Yeah, and I'll get back to you once I've done that. So what you want to do next is take this spring and slide down over the end of this shaft right here. How it came out. So like this. Well, let me get the spring on here. It'll look like that. And then threaded end, you'll want to drop this down into here. Just like that. And it should poke to the bottom. There it goes, like that. It'll look like that. You can put this shaft, the whole thing, into that right there. So let me pause the video real quick. So it'll look like that whenever you got it all together. The next step is to drop that brass washer down into here. You'll see the groove right there it goes into. Let me pause the video real quick and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So it'll go into there. You drop it on, and this washer goes on top of it. So make sure there's a rounded side and there's a flat side on these RM80s. You want the flat side to go up because that's where the steel is going to sit on top of it. I'm going to clean this up real quick and I'll get back to you guys. Drop the flat side facing up, and then you'll have to use a little screwdriver or something, poke it down in there. Should go right in. Let me pause the video real quick. So I have the washer right here. I just decided to do that little spacer individually. I just took a little glove, get away. I just took this flathead screwdriver, and I just poked it down with a hammer. Just careful not to wedge the screwdriver between this part of the shock and the spacer. That'll mess stuff up. Now all you need to do is take the flat side up and just drop it down in there. And now make sure it's really clean, and you'll take your new seal and slide it in on there. So with the seal, you can see there's a deep end and there's a not so deep end. So the not so deep end will be facing the top, and the deep end will be facing the bottom. And just be careful when you put this on here that you don't cut the seal or anything. I'm actually going to use some shock oil and put a little bit on my finger and go around there so it slides on easier. Shock is slid into there, not so deep end on top. I would recommend you taking like a wooden ruler or something. And be real careful when you beat the seal down here, you don't tear it up. And you want to go far enough that you can see the lip where the clip goes into to hold this on. We're almost done, guys. The next thing you're going to want to do once you have the seal in there is take this retaining clip and slide it on the shaft, and then just kind of dig it in with the screwdriver. The next thing you're going to need to do once you have this retaining clip in there, you can see it a lot better now it's not dirty, is take your new wiper. Well, your old one's fine, but I probably wouldn't reuse it. And just slide it down, and it'll kind of just stick on there. Then you can take your spring, and you're going to want to put it in here. And then pull up on this. Now you can take your just a little cap and screw it on. I would not recommend screwing it together with an impact. Just take a wrench and hand tighten it. We got a wrench around here. And that's all you need to do. Now you have a rebuilt fork. So I forgot to mention this, but you want to take some good quality 10 weight fork oil, and an RM80 shock takes 12.1 ounces. So you'll fill it up down here, you know, while you have it up, and you'll put 12.1 ounces in after you bled the brakes and, you know, rebuilt it. And yeah, just make sure these bolts down here stay tight, and you can just reassemble the bike.